take their seats. You are the ones that made Festac such a wonderful success. And I recall the beautiful anthem of Festac. Let the new earth arise, let another world be born. Let the bloody peace be written in the sky. That anthem will also be performed here today. As I welcome all of you. Therefore, Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. But can we keep it going, please? Let's appreciate it.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, well, I didn't want to read any address because there's no time. We were told that we have just an hour. However, let me do something in our usual tradition so that the president will talk after this. This is an address presented by Dr Ferdinand Anikwe, the Director General of the Center for Black and African Arts and Civilization, CBAAC, on the occasion of the Center's Tribal performance of the display of 40 African drums as prelude to the commemoration of Festac77 in honor of the 80th birthday of Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, former President and Commander-in-Chief, Federal Republic of Nigeria, on 3rd March 2017. Your Excellencies, heads of states here present, Your Excellencies, state governors, Your Excellencies, ambassadors, captain of industry, eminent Nigerians, members of the press, the 4th estate of Iran, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. 80 years ago, an unusual star appeared in the firmament. 80 years ago, God gave a special gift, not only to Nigeria, Africa, but indeed mankind as a whole. 80 years ago, a gifted and an unusual precious child was born in the person of Olusegun Obasanjo. Therefore, to describe today as an important day, especially for Nigeria and Africa, will not only be disparagement, but indeed an understatement. In paying a deserved tribute to this iconic hero, it is very difficult to identify the specific aspect of his life to start from. One rarely calls to mind that here is a man who has been a soldier, statesman, an ebullient administrator, a successful farmer, a proud thinker, prolific writer, and a quintessential crusader for the total emancipation of Africa and the black race from the last vestiges of colonialism, neo-colonialism, oppression, domination, and from man's inhumanity to man. Ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me that it is difficult, if not impossible, to capture in a single address as this the totality of the contributions of this enigma to the advancement of humankind. This is given the space and time that are available. I will therefore advisedly restrict this address to the contributions of Chief Obasanjo to the hosting of the Second World Life and African Festival of Culture, and to ultimately establish the establishment of the Center for Black and African Arts and Civilization, that is CBAAC. I want to say that we've always told them that the singular most important cultural event since the creation of man was witnessed in Nigeria in 1977. With all the books we've read in Europe and America, we are happy share there has been a time in history when a whole continent and the entire black world accepted to assemble in a place to showcase their history. Chief Obasanjo made it possible, and these 3 people here, among several others, we regard them as the heroes of Festac. So we are saying that in a real understanding of the contributions of the festival towards showcasing black and African culture and heritage, he quickly made wise consultations, reorganizing internal festival committee and other committees, putting square pegs in square holes, made funds available, and eventually a festival that could be described as the largest assemblage of black and African peoples worldwide was held from the 15th of January to the 12th of February 1977, Festac77. It was not only monumentally successful, it could also be described as a watershed in the Pan-Africanist struggle. It is to Obasanjo's eternal credit that Festac77 covered the entire gamut of Black and African cultural heritage. But more importantly, he ensured that the event had an academic dimension to it through the colloquium titled The Arts and Civilization of Black and African Peoples. I'm glad to say the product of the Festac colloquium has been published in 10 volumes, of course, by the grace of Senator Dr. Anikwe. Apart from the colloquium, Festac77 showcased a Black and African culture in hitherto unimagined dimensions. It rekindled African cultural consciousness and provided a rallying point for Africans. For once, Black and African peoples took pride in their cultures and expressed it to the admiration of the world. When we interacted with Rebecca Ayok, the then Secretary General of Commonwealth, he told us that the most conservative of the British newspapers, the Telegraph, was able to say that at least Africans demonstrated their culture. And we are saying that for this, thanks and special gratitude must go to a rare son of Africa, a colossus and a man of history, Chief Aremu Okikiade Olusegun Obasanjo. Since, maybe I didn't pronounce it well. Since Festac77 aroused a new consciousness in Black and African cultures, it will not be out of place to say a few things on the role of cultural industries and creative economy in revamping Nigeria and Africa's ailing economies. Please permit me to start by submitting that the current economic quagmire of Nigeria is the fallout of the neglect of our cultural industries and creative economy. Nigeria is very rich in such simple things as pottery, leatherworks, textile, blacksmithing, and a host of others. These, in addition to others, could be creatively harnessed to drive an economy that is vibrant, solid, and sustainable. This is certainly not a lecture on how to grow African economies, but I must state that Africa has a lot of lessons to learn from countries in Southeast Asia, popularly called Asian tigers. These countries have grown very robust economies and are making breakthrough contributions to their gross domestic product by developing their cultural industries. Be that as it may, it is curious. It's a curious coincidence that as we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Festac77, the pillar and driving force of the epoch-making festival is equally celebrating its 80th birthday. Sir, on this occasion of your 80th birthday, the CBAAC family joins the rest of your admirers that are spread all over the world in saying congratulations and happy returns. As we appreciate the valued contributions of other Festac heroes like Admiral Obi Fingesi, here present, and who was the then Festac president, and Senator Dr. Ali, then chairman of the opening ceremony and Federal Commissioner for Education, we want to state that CBAAC is presenting the Liber performance today with a display of 40 drones to herald the commemoration of Festac77 and 40. Unlike the Festac77, when the events were centralized, this year's experience spreads over the whole of Nigeria from March to December this year. And the venues are located in many states across the country and other African countries. By this, we intend to also take Festac77 and 40 anniversary to other African countries that may not be able to come to Nigeria for the celebrations. Therefore, I wish to call on heads of governments of other African countries to key into this initiative, to fully partake in and appreciate the true essence of this celebration. I also want to call for the partnership of other NGOs, corporate bodies, and maximize the opportunities that are inherent in this program. Once again, congratulations to a cultural advocate, a true partner.